Hello students, I am Jasveer, your English teacher. Today I am here with my third video based on the chapter The Portrait of a Lady by Khushwant Singh. In my last video, as you know, I explained the first two pages of the chapter, and now in this video I am supposed to explain the next two pages, which are page number 5 and page number 6 in your books. So before I start, I will give you the meanings of the difficult words from the chapter. And as you can see here, there are certain words which have been highlighted by me. So these are the words which I think can be difficult for you. So before I start, I will give you the meanings of these words first. So the first word, as you can see here, it is distressed, which means sad or disappointed. Then we have this word lewd, which means vulgar. Monopoly, which means sole right or control over something. The next word we have is harlots. Harlots means women of indecent character. The next word is snapped, which means broken. Then we have this word seclusion. Seclusion means isolation or loneliness. Spinning wheel. You must have seen old ladies, especially in villages, they keep on spinning a certain kind of wheel which is made of wood, right? So that wheel in Punjabi or Hindi we call it charkha. Then we have these words veritable bedlam, which means veritable means real or true, and bedlam means noisy uproar. So a noisy uproar which seems something real or true. Then we have this word shewed, which means to send away something by skewering it. So, and the next word, it is cherished, which simply means enjoyed. Moist, which means damp or wet. Clasped, which means to grasp someone tightly. Frivolous rebukes. Frivolous means something which is not seriously done. Rebukes means scolding. So it means non-serious scoldings. And at last, we have this word sagging, which means loose, something hanging downward. So these are the words which can be difficult for you on this page. Now let's move to the next page. The first word on the next page is dilapidated. So dilapidated means something which has been worn out, which has been used, so badly used that it is not in a very good condition. Then we have this word persuade, which means to convince someone by urging. Then we have the word omitted, which means left. Someone who has been left, someone or something which has been left. Pallor. Pallor means paleness of face, especially. Customary, something done as per custom, according to the custom. Shroud. Shroud means a cloth which is used for wrapping dead body, kafan. Mournings. It is an act of expressing sorrow when someone dies. So this is the way to express your sorrow. You mourn on someone's death. Funeral. Funeral means cremation of body. The next word we have is crude, which means roughly made. Then we have this word crumbs. Crumbs are small pieces of bread. And at last, this word we have corpse, which means a dead body. So these are the words which I think can be difficult for you. So I have given you the meanings of these words. So now let's start with the explanation. So till now, what we have read, we have discussed two phases of the friendship bond between the author and his grandmother. The first phase was there when Both were living in a village. The author used to go to a village school. His grandmother, she would wake him up early in the morning. She would get him ready for school. She would accompany him to the school, and the school was attached to a temple. So there, the mother, she would keep sitting in the temple reading religious books, and at the same time the author would keep on studying in the school. And on the way back from school, they would feed the village dogs, street dogs, with stale chapatis. So this was the first phase of their bond, friendship, and it was the best phase of their friendship. It was the best time of their friendship. Then started phase 2. Phase 2 started when both of them shifted to city to live with the author's parents. So there the author started going to an English school, and he would go to school by a bus. So now the grandmother, she would no more accompany him to the school. And here still the author and the grandmother, they were still living in a a common room, same room, but the grandmother, she started feeling alone over there, right? So the grandmother, she also didn't like the subjects taught in the school, those English words, science subjects. She didn't like all that, and she also hated the idea of teaching music in school. So this was the phase 2. Now let's talk about phase 3. Phase 3, it is when the common link of their friendship snapped, broken. What was the common link? It was the room which they had been sharing till now. The third phase started when the author joined a university. Now he was given a separate room of his own. Thus, the common link of their friendship was broken. But the grandmother, she accepted this loneliness quietly. Now she would spend the most of her time spinning the wheel, reciting prayer, and feeding sparrows every afternoon. Then the author went abroad for higher studies. The grandmother, she accompanied the author to the railway station to see him off. But she didn't show any emotions. She simply kissed his forehead quietly and let him go. The author returned after 5 years. The grandmother, she went to the railway station to receive him, but she wasn't looking even a day older. The next day, the author noticed something unusual in his grandmother. Something unusual in the behavior of his grandmother. That day, she didn't pray. She didn't pray at all that day. She just gathered the women from neighborhood, and she kept beating drums and singing songs till evening. The next day, she fell ill. The doctor said that it was a mild fever and it would go. But the grandmother, she was thinking other way. She declared that her end was near, and after that she laid peacefully in her bed and left the world. Means she died. The sparrows, her evening friends, gathered around her body, but they didn't eat the breadcrumbs thrown to them by the author's mother. They didn't chirp and flew away quietly when the grandmother's body was carried away. So this is how the grandmother, the author's grandmother, died. She left the world. And this was the phase 3 of their friendship. Thus, this way, the author has depicted the qualities of human relationship like love, connection, kindness, selflessness, respect, acceptance, innocence, and friendship very beautifully in this chapter. He also teaches the idea, he also touches the idea how there comes changes in human relationship with the passage of time. So this is what we have in this chapter, and in my next video I will come up with some important notes based on the chapter. Till that time, have a nice time, be safe, thank you.